Hey there, folks. Well, let me show you what we got here today. We have the Predator 9000 generator here. And evidently, just before the hurricane, I had just replaced this carburetor on this thing. And just before the hurricane, I filled her up with gas and came right here to, when we lost power, I came out here to start it and realized parts have been taken. So as you can see, this old fuel filter right here, this was all brand new just a couple of months ago, because I just replaced this carburetor and fuel line and everything else on this thing. So evidently somebody has been out here and snuck into my trailer at late at night, right where I can't see the cameras, and managed to borrow a few parts. So today I got a new carburetor and a new fuel line and all that stuff, and I'm going to show you what they did here in just a second as soon as I get this cover off of here. Anyway, whoever came up here and got these parts knew exactly what was sitting in here, and managed to come up here and get the stuff in the middle of the night, because the trailer is enclosed. So the front door up there I can't see from the cameras, but I'm going to show you right here. Now mind you, all of this is brand new, or was brand new, and that's not brand new. So you can tell somebody swapped it out. This fuel line right here is so old it was breaking in pieces, and these fuel lines don't come with these type of clamps. So somebody's been up here and got it while I couldn't see them. So we ordered a brand new carburetor for it. So we're going to take all this apart. And you can see even the spring has been stretched out and mangled up a little bit here. Yep. They didn't take the carburetor, but they took everything else. So, but in order to get the parts that you need, or the parts that they needed, basically they had to take the whole thing apart, like I'm doing right now, except they didn't actually have to take the carburetor off. So somebody spent a little time on this, trying not to let me see what they had done, which is kind of crappy. But you know, in the middle of the night, you got a few minutes and you need the parts bad enough, you're willing to take that chance, because you know, inside the enclosed trailer, they could have done this easily at night when nobody was, when we were sleeping and the camera's not picking them up, and they know the cameras weren't picking them up. So whoever did it knows pretty much my my schedule around here. And as you can see, this doesn't take but a couple of minutes to do. Even to take the whole carburetor off doesn't take but a couple of minutes to do. But I figured, let's just go ahead and do the whole thing, because I'm going to show you here. So they took this part off, which is the choke lever. They took it off. They took the fuel filter off, and they took the fuel line. So I just said, you know what? Cost me more just for those couple of parts than it does to buy the whole thing brand new, the whole carburetor brand new. So we're going to clean all this off. Shorty, will you go get me the other can of this over there? And for those of you out there that are worried about doing a carburetor on one of these Predators, just so you know, these things are 20 bucks. Okay, you buy them on Amazon and you get the whole carburetor. They really can't be cleaned. I mean, you can clean them to a point, but it's really, in my line of work, it's not worth spending that money to clean it, or spending that time to clean it. Not when this takes literally less than a couple of seconds to do. Or I mean a couple of minutes to do, should I say.
Here you go.
Okay, so these wires here, these don't take anything to pop out. You just stick your little pair of pliers in there and pop them loose. Little pair of needle nose, and they will just come out like that. So you just squeezing these two little tabs together right there, and they will come right out. And the wires you can't mess up, because as you can see, they got male and female ends, so you can't get that wrong. What just went rolling?
This.
Oh, the filter. That's kind of an important part.
Yes.
So I'm just showing you here that, you know, these literally don't take no time at all to replace. So if you're trying to get your generator running and it doesn't want to run right, but you can spray carb cleaner in it or starting fluid and it'll start, then you know it's a pretty minor issue. Oops. Oh, don't forget important part. Very important part. Oop, that's not it. She said, oh, that's not it, Daniel-san. I think it goes on like that. Yep, goes on like that.
It was backwards, Gumby.
Yep.
I was just about to say.
And then you got this fancy little gasket that goes on here. Figure out which one it is. Because one of them basically has to let it breathe. I think it's this big fat dog right here. There it is. Yep. You got a little breathe hole right here, so you have to use that one. And then this goes on like that. Nope, it's on the other way.
You forgot again?
I did. I did forget again. So it goes like that. There we go.
Yes. That holds that part up.
Nope. Still got it wrong. He said, oh, Daniel-san, you need to be smarter than toys you play with. Like that. There it is. Ta-da! See, I told you. Anyway, you got that gasket there, then you got this little gasket right here. That's got to go on there. Oops. He said, Daniel-san, you'll always get it wrong.
So that's thin as paper, right?
Yep.
So people have to make sure they do it easy.
It has to be on, go on easy. Yep.
Like a puzzle.
Yep.
Oh, Gumby, you forgot one.
Not yet.
Oh, it goes on the back?
So anyway, folks, don't be intimidated by this kind of stuff. I mean, this is really easy. Really easy stuff. So, also, obviously, you can see on this carburetor here, the screw wasn't there for the choke. See, this little screw right here goes down in here and holds the choke on. The choke wasn't even, the screw wasn't even there anymore. So, they took the screw and everything.
He got it finally.
Ta-da! So somebody spent a little time doing this because these Predators, they will not start when they're cold at all the first time without having the choke on. And even if they set for 5 minutes, you have to turn the choke on for a second to start it. So anyway, the boss is here real quick. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. Okay. So anyway, they got the fuel line and everything. Because as you can see, it comes with these cute little clamps here and real soft rubber hose. And this one right here is just barely, like, you can see obviously that filter is not new, and that's not what comes with a brand new carburetor. So the rest of this is pretty simple. I mean, you just put it back together the way you took it apart. It only takes literally this is about a 20-minute job. So what I like to do is, let me bring you up here a little closer. So they give you enough fuel line here. Let me get you adjusted so you can see it. So they give you enough fuel line to go all the way up past this. So you want your fuel filter right in that area right there, so that this fuel line coming out of here doesn't get kinked. So what I like to do is I just cut it. I just take it right here and I cut it right about there. And we'll just stick that critter. Oh, might help if we had the clamp on it first, huh? Oh, gotta be smarter than the toys you're playing with.
Yes, you do.
I tell Shorty that all the time. Be smarter than the toys you're playing with.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you see how that works right there. And then, you know, normally you have the old clamps for all this, but Needless to say, they've gotten all the old clamps. So we're gonna use a couple of these clamps that they had left me here.
And we put them to use.
And you know, folks, I'm the type of person that, you know, I'll give you the shirt off my back to help you. Just don't steal from me, you know. No reason for it whatsoever. I mean, really, it's a $20 carburetor, you know. This really drives me bad. A thief drives me batty. It's like, why would you even take a chance coming up into a man's yard and go inside of his trailer to steal parts when you know he's a veteran? You know he's going to keep stuff around here to protect his property and himself and his family, and you're going to be dumb enough to sneak up in his trailer where you got one way in and one way out. It's going to be bad for you. Alright, so that should have been a little bit shorter, but that's okay. We're just going to adjust it around here a little bit, and we're just going to make it work. Like I said, I'm not too worried about that, as long as that filter's in there and it's out of the way. And then get to stick all this parts on here, back on here. So this little gasket, as you can see,
it might be the wrong way.
No. See? Pretty bad when a 12-year-old telling you how to do it. Come on, man.
I'm kind of good with puzzles.
Come on. Tighten up over there. Hand me this stuff. Come on, come on, come on already.
Stinks.
Stinks?
Yes.
That carb cleaner?
Yes.
Yeah, some people think it stinks.
Smells like gas.
Some people like the smell of gas.
I do, but I do not like carb cleaner.
Yeah, it depends on the carb cleaner you're dealing with, then.
And it's explosive.
Yep.
I've seen it firsthand.
Yep, you've seen the stuff catch on fire out here from it, huh?
Yeah. I start the fires. I'm happy because I do it.
And this stuff right here, y'all. This is the stuff we buy at Napa, local Napa around here. This is cheap. We buy it by the case around here. And I really like that stuff because you can use it as starting fluid, especially on diesels. Works great for starting diesels. And all these little gas engines. It's not super explosive, but it will start an engine and run an engine. I like using it because you know, like If you've ever used starting fluid before, you know how you can spray it in there, boy, and it just revs your motor. I mean, like, you can hear it knocking and stuff like that. Starting fluid is really not good for most engines anyway. So I like using that stuff because it'll clean parts. It'll clean your hands. Just don't let it set on real sensitive skin, because if it gets like between your fingers and whatever, yeah, it's not pleasant. But it washes pretty easily and fast, where starting fluid, if you get that on your hands, boy, that stuff will burn. And like I say, it's not real good for engines anyway. Even though they, some folks claim it to be okay and non-harmful, but if you've ever ran a diesel engine dry, you will know that starting fluid is not good for a diesel engine. I have literally seen diesel engines blow up from starting fluid. So this stuff right here anyway is a good alternative to it. I like using it just because of that. It doesn't it's not highly explosive, but it will burn. Great to start an engine that's having issues, or if you, like I say, if you run a diesel dry and you need to start it or prime it, if you don't have the primer pump has gone bad or something. Or you can't prime, you got no way to prime it. Some diesel engines don't have a primer pump. So you got no choice but to, somehow get it to prime, or you're sitting there cranking it and bleeding the injectors. To where I like using that stuff. That way it starts a diesel without really hurting it. And works pretty good. Oh, she's about all I can handle. Okay, so now we got her all back together. Now to give her the test. I know we got fuel in her, so we're going to turn the fuel on. We're going to choke her. And we're going to give the fuel a minute to get down to the filter there. There she goes. Now she's filled up. Okay, so you heard her running. Now I just got to get another air filter cover because they took that too. So, but she is running now, which would have been nice a few days ago during the hurricane when we lost power for 8 hours. But now you know how to change a carburetor on a Predator generator. So chances are, if she won't start on you, that's a pretty simple fix. It's a $20 carburetor. Always check your oil first on these Predators, because they do have a low oil sensor on them. So if you know, if the oil's not if it's real low, should I say, the thing won't start. One way you can test that is to unplug a couple of the wires underneath there, underneath that panel, which there's thousands of videos out there on that part. What I did notice was there are not too many videos out there on changing a carburetor, hence the reason I decided to bring you along on that journey. So if it, like I said, if it won't start, try that. If it still won't start, then go ahead and try some that cleaner there. And if she starts then chances are you got a bad carburetor that's clogged up or something going on. So until then, if you like the video, like, subscribe, share. You know, I always tell you all the time, come on, you can do it. Just press the button right there. All right, see you guys.